record, a reading here for you guys. That's for all signs, but I had wanted to talk about the July energies, and so this is going to be kind of about July and August. I do want to check my audio. Really. Let me just see. There we go. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I haven't recorded any live readings for some time. I've been just kind of in a tunnel and with other things. And so, I don't know, getting back into doing these lives is kind of interesting. It feels a little bit different. I look really tan, at least to me. I look really tan. And yeah, you know, I don't really even know really where to start, but I felt very much like I couldn't catch a break for like this whole time. And when I record, I feel like my energy is like really out there, and people, could pick up on that. And I don't want to bring negativity to anybody. I don't want anybody to feel like, I'm pointing any fingers at anybody. Really, it's just been kind of a rough road for me. I applied for housing assistance again for July. And essentially not much has changed job wise. I've had some jobs that I thought were going to come through and then they didn't come through. And the work that I've been doing, the landscaping work that I've been doing has been limited in the regard of my physical capacity, the weather. It's not full time. So it's been just a really rocky road getting back to recording and getting into any kind of mode of, normalcy. And I thought this year was going to be really great. I thought, turning 40, it was going to be really great, but it has not felt really great to me. It's felt like at every turn there's been, oh, hey, Sarah, thanks so much for joining, saying hi. Like at every turn there's been something that's happened, like recently, like just yesterday, one of the projects I've been working on landscape wise is coming to an end, and I noticed that my tires are bald. And I have to replace my tires, and I'm like, well, how am I going to replace my tires, without this work, without this project that I've been working on? And so I don't know, there's just been a lot of things, and yeah, a lot of obstacles. I felt there's a lot of obstacles, and even recording this, there's some guy out there, and obviously he's like coming right up to the place where I need to be recording at, and he's weed whacking. So I don't know, it's just kind of an interesting time. I haven't wanted to come on here and talk about the energies as, and people get confused, like there's personal energy and then there's stuff that's going on with the world. And so I haven't wanted to come on because I felt like if I came on here, then it might be like, it might feel like I was projecting my stuff onto the world. And I typically can like detach. That's why, I'm a really good reader. When I detach from my stuff, I can see what's going on with the world. So I felt like in a good place to record today. I'm able to look at the cards, I feel like, with some elements of detachment. But it has been really a lot of obstacles. I don't know if those of you who are watching have felt like there's been a lot of obstacles just in life. Stuff like every turn, it's like around every turn, there's been some sort of obstacle. And I do believe that there's planetary stuff, but it's just has felt one obstacle after another. And it's very depleting. That's the energy that I personally have felt. I am going to look at a spread to see what I get for everyone. This is for all signs. This is July energies, August energies, potentially, depending on when you are watching this. Yeah, things breaking, things wearing out, like things needing replacing. I felt that very strongly too. I think, and this is just my feeling, that they're supposed to be, and I've heard this from other psychics, there's supposed to be a quote unquote second wave. And I talked about this when I did my video about the bug, and I'm not even gonna say the word, okay, on here a while back, and it's like way down, like you'll have to, in order to like find it on my page, you're gonna have to scroll way down. But anyways, the whole deal was that I saw that there was going to be a second wave, and that wave hasn't come yet. And with the second wave brings an element of, I don't even like to say the word darkness, but like that element of darkness where things don't go right. Because when there's an element of darkness, things just don't go right. Like, you know what I mean? You're like on your way to something and then some shit happens. That's how you know that it's the dark. Dark always pushes to the light though. So like if we're in a space of like adaptability and change, and we're kind of continue to get back on the horse when we fall down, things like that, then we can navigate it. But with like a serious heavy wave of energy like that, it makes it really hard to get back up. It makes it really hard to feel like you can keep going, to regroup, to feel like you have what you need. It's like constantly being pushed, you know, it's that feeling of being pushed. And for most people, maybe who are not so sensitive to it, you know, they might carry on with their day-to-day life and they might not realize that that is happening. But then like, you know, if you notice like things breaking and you notice that things aren't going so great or as great as they could be, then, or you notice other things that could, you know, pop up that could give you a sign that there's this like second wave coming, then, you know, you'll understand kind of it better. I'm gonna add some cards here while I'm talking. Yeah, I definitely feel the weird thing is so we have the first card that I pulled, I just want to talk about it, is this is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. And the Nine of Pentacles is the dark cloud hanging over someone's head. Like I literally, like you see like this, I made it this being about, to me this is the dark cloud. So some of you may feel like all you're doing is working and you're not having enough fun, or there's things in your life that are kind of weighing quite heavily on you and you're not able to feel optimistic or as positive as you would like. That's what I want to say. I actually feel that there's a lot of mixed energy, but it's not as bad as maybe could be. So that's the positive, I guess, side of the spread that I'm laying out. I'm going to talk about some of the cards that I'm seeing and some of the stuff that I'm seeing. So just to kind of get the ball rolling here. The outcome is the Four of Cups. And to me, this is someone who's like texting a lot or on their cell phone a lot. You might, I don't know, feel restricted in some way with communications. Like you might feel like people aren't responsive, or like you're trying to get through to something and you can't, because we have this Eight of Swords here showing up too. So there's some element of like feeling restricted. The Eight of Swords is also karma. I don't necessarily like it, but I feel like it's actually more of like, to me, it's more of like a restrictive energy. There's other cards around it that are modifying it. So, you may be here getting a message, communications from an older female too, because to me, this is the crone energy. This is the crow energy. You might get news about a death in the family. This is, and I'm getting a tingle on that for someone who's watching. I don't necessarily know who this is for you. This is an older female, though. I'm getting older female. That's what I'm seeing here. You might also get news that, and this is future energy. So like this has not happened yet, although you may feel that this may have occurred already for some of you. A lot of people, time, functions differently for everyone. But the Eight of Swords is like problems, feeling stuck. You might feel stuck. You might get like news of somebody feeling stuck. To me, it's a feeling of stuck because it's a Four of Cups. It's a Cups energy. So there's a feeling of being restricted, a feeling of being stuck, a feeling like a dark cloud's hanging over your head. And again, with this whole reading, it's so funny I'm talking about this, is really about how the second wave is going to be impacting people. I don't necessarily feel that it's doom and gloom, although I feel like for some of you, that's how it's going to feel at times. To me, the Eight of Swords is limitations. It's feeling like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. No matter what you do, you're screwed. I don't necessarily feel like the people that are watching this are screwed. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't. I feel like the energy here is actually not that bad. That's so funny. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. This always happens to me when I'm reading. I say it's not that bad, and then what do we get? We get the Tower. Oh, so funny. But we get the Tower, but honestly, it is modified. It's modified when I say modified by other positive cards. So it's not as bad as it could be. Again, a Tower moment. Because the Four of Cups is the outcome, and I'm going to say this, the Four of Cups is more of a gentler energy. To me, it's the energy of the Pisces, hoping, wishing, and dreaming, living in some kind of bubble, kind of being a little bit stuck in the delusion. They're, not having a lot of clarity, time passing you by, and then not realizing how much time is passing you by, things like that. It's a muted energy. It's very muted. It's very understated. It's very like a little bit isolated and a little bit reserved and a little bit pulled back. It's a 4. It's not a 10. It's a Cups card. And then we also have this Nine of Cups in the position of attitude. And to me, that's a very strong. Anytime it matches up with another water energy, I feel like it's a strong positive energy here in this reading. And I don't know why I'm getting a lot of positive energy from this, but I am. There's a flow to it, and there's like a financial flow to it that's very healthy. It's matching up with the Ten of Pentacles, which is a very positive card. The Ten of Pentacles is coming in from the outside, so you might have financial support from other people. There might be, if you do something like I do, maybe donations or maybe people helping you out, or, this could be for some of you, some sort of inheritance or money that's coming through some other channel. I feel like it's very blessed money that's coming through. It could come through a friend. It could come through, like if you're waiting on money to come through for school, the money is going to come through for school. It could come through a female water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, because of the Queen of Cups here showing up too. The Queen in this reading is very interesting. The Queen of Cups, the Queens are sometimes gay. So I'm not saying this is you. I feel like this is a more feminine energy. But again, if you're watching and you're gay, this could be you, maybe helping somebody out. Maybe you're paying for college tuition of some sort, maybe paying for school yourself some way. I'm getting a tingle on this. So like there's someone that's gay that's watching. And to me, the Queens are more, when I say like, they are out in the world and they're proud of being gay. Let's just say they have gay pride. So to me, this is somebody with gay pride. Okay. Someone who, and in some cases, this is a person who is transgender. I have people that are transgender that watch my channel, and this could be a person who's transgender. I'm getting a tingle on that. So I've seen the Queen of Cups as being transgender. So being very fashion focused. Some of you are going to be, this is so funny, redoing your wardrobe. There's a lot to do with clothes here. The Page of Pentacles is to me, a younger energy. There's a shopping element, an element of buying things. There's also something to hear about pregnancy that's coming through. We've got the Page of Pentacles, which is also the seed of potential. Plus, we have the Page of Swords. Some of you may have been trying to get pregnant or wanted to get pregnant for some time, or some of you may be watching after a child or a young, like a baby, because she's nurturing this gosling. She's holding onto this gosling. So some of you may have kids. I feel like this is all positive. So for the Tower to come up, I don't necessarily feel like it's bad. There's going to be some sudden news that comes through. That's the thing. To me, it's more like sudden news, an unexpected text message. I don't necessarily feel like it's bad. It may get, like, you may get news from like an ex. Maybe it's someone you don't want to talk to. But that comes through anyways. It most likely is from somebody who you don't want to talk to. But I also don't necessarily feel like it's bad. So like, it's not going to be, to me, it's modified. It's not going to be a big deal, like a big deal, and like it's like the end of the world kind of thing, Some of you, okay. This is going to be really weird. So for some of you, there may be some sort of divorce or breakup that comes as kind of a shock or out of the blue, because the Four of Cups person is a person who is not necessarily seeing the bigger picture. They're very they're on their phone like all day. They're on the computer like all day, or they're really introspective. And then we have this Tower. So then to me, I'm sorry laughing. I can't help it. So to me, it's like the bubble gets burst. It's like that commercial. It's at the commercial where he's like, wake up. And he slaps the person across the face. And to me, this is some sort of wake up call. Oh, this is funny. I feel like there's also someone who's gonna be like giving you like a dose of like what would be the equivalent of like a swift kick in the ass, like I don't necessarily, like, you could be a parent too, and giving someone like having a really hard talk with, like I feel like it's a teenager or someone who's like maybe college age. The Eight of Wands to me is a mom, and she's kind of fierce, and she has like 3 kids, or she has 2 kids, and like, she's kind of like trying to do it all, and she's just had it with the fact that she's had it with something. And I don't know why I'm saying this, but like I'm seeing this woman, and it could be, those of you watching, you could be a guy, and you may have had it with something, okay? Because I remember there were times back in the day growing up where my mom had it. Okay, she had it, and she'd sit us down in the living room, and she would lay out, and she would be like a lecture style. Okay, she would lay out exactly what we were doing wrong. And she would give us this whole list of all this shit that she was sick of us doing. You know what I mean? Not cleaning up our stuff, not doing our laundry, leaving shit everywhere, leaving our food like all over the house, not putting our dishes away, not putting our dishes in the sink, not managing to really keep it together. So there is some element. I feel like someone is going to kick someone's ass or just give them some sort of lecture style about what they are not going to tolerate anymore. And this could result in a divorce or breakup unexpectedly. Okay. Or there's just, I don't know. And I don't necessarily feel like this is like going to be applicable for everyone. To me, it feels kind of more specific, and it's just funny. It's just funny because, you know, like it would be like an ongoing thing where my mom would say, okay, you got to do this and you got to do that constantly. And we would nod our head, but we wouldn't do it. And then after a while, like again, it came out of nowhere where she would be fed up and she would be like, I'm not taking this anymore. She'd sit us down and she would tell us what we were doing wrong. So like some of you who may be in a relationship to someone where you finally like have a come to Jesus conversation about what they're not doing right and like what they're doing wrong. It's funny. And like things might change. And this, you know what's so funny? This could actually be like a boss. Like my guys are also showing me a situation where, it's funny, where like the boss is like, all right, if anybody else is late, you're fired. Like, you know, you walk into the building one day and you go in and you clock in like normal on time. And then suddenly there's a ripple effect of people talking throughout the office about how the boss has lost it and is like not tolerating lateness anymore, not tolerating people on their cell phone anymore. There's something really funny here about like really laying down the law. And I don't know why I'm seeing it that way, but I am. So I feel like there's some kind of funny element to this. I don't necessarily feel like it's like the most dire situation at all. Because like the other card that I pulled was the Ace of Wands, and it's like the Ace of Wands is the sex card. So it's like my God is showing me like the fight where it's like, well, we don't have sex anymore. When are we gonna have sex again? And then like someone is like, well, I can add you to my calendar, and then like that's really not gonna help. It's really not gonna help where they schedule it in. I don't believe in scheduling sex. I know some people do that, and power to you for doing that, but like I don't believe in that. If you have to schedule it, then you've got an overfull calendar and you're not prioritizing it, and the relationship has died. Okay. I'm just saying the relationship is dead. Also, the Eight of Swords, I'm seeing this as a dead horse. To me, this is the dead horse. So like somebody may be beating a dead horse in the sense that like something is like over. Or you may have had a conversation many times about the same thing. It's like the energy of like rehashing something. Whatever in your life is over, I would not encourage you to revisit it. Anything that's really officially done, don't go back. Some of you may have some strong Sagittarius placements. The Sagittarius is like the recycler. I call them the recycler in the zodiac. Okay, so they recycle relationships. They'll take an ex, try to fix that up, and try to hope for the best. They'll take somebody they divorced and fix that one up too and hope for the best on that. They may have been in 6 or 7 relationships that they've done that with. So it's just like this is like to me this is like ending up as like a very funny reading, and I'm super amused. Whoever energy this is, please message me in the comments and tell me later like what this energy is, because it's really great. I'm really enjoying this. You may feel like you have a lot on your plate, a lot of things to do and a lot to get done. I feel like everything's going to get done. The Five of Wands to me is about realizing that Rome was not built in a day. And like my challenge this entire summer was to feel like less anxiety and I needed to be more patient that the projects that I was working on weren't going to get done in a day. That I was doing little by little, and over time they would come together. And it's true. There are some things that you just can't get done in a day. And some of you are maxing out your calendar. You're maxing out your, to-do list or your things that, you're trying to get done. And you do need to just kind of do as much as you can and let it go. Like those of you, I would not stay up late worrying about the things that you didn't get done. If you need to, make lots of lists. To me, this is also chipping away at bills, chipping away at things that come up, a little bit at a time. So like the interesting thing is like it came up recently. I have bald tires and I need to replace my tires. And I have no money to replace my tires because the project that I'm working on is ending. So I'm like, okay, well, how am I going to replace my tires? And I think I'm going to do 2 at a time. Instead of doing them all 4, I'm going to do 2 at a time. This is an example of chipping away the things that you need to do. So like split something, cut it in half, delegate the other half of what you have to do to somebody else. This is also somebody maybe coming back, like this is like the runner chaser element in relationships, maybe somebody coming back from the past. I don't feel like it's so much in this reading. I actually feel like it's this anxiety about having things you need to do and not being able to get it all done. That's really what the energy is here in this reading. We have also the Judgment card, which to me this is like a fresh start. Starting over, starting fresh, in some way. To me, it's a beautiful energy. It came out with the 5 of Cups, so some of you maybe, like, there's a little bit of, maybe wanting to start fresh, but, like, it's hard to really be fresh in this world right now because, we're all carrying some sort of baggage with us. We're all carrying some sort of bills, some sort of debt, some sort of like, X situation from hell, some sort of old situation that's, kind of follows us around. Sometimes it's post-traumatic stress. Sometimes it's, traumatic situations. So I feel like the 5 of Cups energy is it's more separate from this fresh start, but, it may, if you start over in some way, like July, August, you might be overwhelmed. And to me, that there is an energy. The 5 of Cups can indicate overwhelmed. Yeah. I'm good on time, I think. Let me see if there's anything else that's coming up here. The Temperance card is coming up here, so it's like, to me, this is extremes with finances, maybe having a lot, then spending a lot. This could be you, this could be a partner. Balancing your checkbook, balancing your budget. It's matching up with this Ace of Pentacles here. I do feel like those of you who, have concerns about money, I feel like money is fluid. Money is very fluid. So if you have bills or if you have things, money is very fluid at this time. I don't feel that there's any blockages there. It's fluid, but I would write it out. Like write out, okay, like this is how much I have for gas. This is how much I have for food. This is how much I have for rent and things like that. This is how much I want to spend this month. Oh, okay, so this is coming up. It's very important that I say this. I was shown this by my guides the other day. When I drove into the east side of Seattle, Bellevue, Redmond. I hadn't been there for like 10 years. And I noticed that the energy of people and consumerism had really like amped up. Before it was kind of quiet and chill, and now it's like they put in all these shops and all these stores and stuff, and it's like everybody was crazy busy, and I felt the energy was really, really amped up. And my guide said to me that the energy was kind of roaring. And like, if we look back at history, what happened during the Roaring 20s, okay, the Roaring 20s, then there followed that was the war, okay? World War II, after the Roaring 20s. That's what came after. So everybody needs at this time to kind of be prepared in the sense that that is what most likely is going to come to pass. If we have our head up our ass, then we're not going to be prepared. If we're in the sense of roaring, like what was the Roaring 20s, eating a lot, drinking a lot, partying a lot, being social a lot, pushing everything to the maximum. Like if you're the person that pushes everything to the maximum, like you're maxing out credit cards, You spend all of your money down to zero. You have no savings, but you're making money, but you really just you're not really saving for a rainy day, or you're not really planning ahead. There's going to be a problem later in time because of what's coming down the pike energetically for this planet. So it's just something that everybody needs to be aware of. We are in the roaring 20s. I think everybody kind of knows what's coming, but I'm saying this for those of you who don't know or really aren't really aware of it. To me, it's just like kind of bringing like a re-awareness of stuff. Some of you do feel overburdened by responsibilities, overburdened by like bills, or overburdened by things going on in your life, things that you have to do. Some of you don't feel like you have, again, it's just this weird like out of breath energy that I felt all summer, where it's like there were times where I felt like I couldn't breathe. I felt like the energy was so suffocating, And I feel like some of you may feel like you don't get enough alone time, or you don't have enough time to breathe, or it's like when you go to relax somewhere, you're not able to fully relax, for whatever reason. And even just talking about it just feels like there's a lot of anxiety there. There is, to me, like, some of you, not getting enough sleep, some of you feeling very lonely or depressed. Some of you do feel, and I'm just going to say this, that life has turned into some sort of nightmare. And I can say that for myself personally, I felt all summer that things had turned into a nightmare, that my life had turned into a nightmare. And I didn't know when it was going to end. And I didn't know how it was going to change or how it was going to stop, The thing about this energy, it's very Capricornian, I have to say. It feels very heavily Capricornian. And I don't know why. I'm sure there's a lot of planets in Capricorn somewhere going on right now. I haven't paid attention because I've been in my tunnel. But, okay, so like even if, let's just say there's no specific transit with Capricorn, I feel like collectively, the energy of Capricorn is always sort of present. It is. It just is all the time. Whether you're, you don't have to necessarily be born under the sign of Capricorn to feel the Capricorn energy. It's kind of a little bit more subtle than just like, it's more collective. That's the word I want to say. Than just, you're born under Capricorn, so you're going to feel that energy. I feel that Capricorn energy right now is about putting one foot in front of the other and taking steps and kind of stepping into this future with this sense of knowing that there's going to be some setbacks, knowing that there's going to be things that you're not really happy about, but kind of taking them with some grace and with a grain of salt, and knowing that there's going to be good things that are coming that aren't necessarily like maybe things that you've planned for, but they are good things. Some of you are going to end up getting married. That's one thing that's coming that maybe you don't see. It's kind of funny. And I'm going to say this. I always say this. For those of you who are watching and you're already married, okay, it's not you. If you get a divorce, then yeah, it's applicable to you. But, some of you are waiting for your Mr. Right and you're still in a relationship, and to me, that's not going to apply to you. I also feel like there's this energy of what is yours will come to you. So it's like if you've been waiting on something or things have taken a long time, there's things that are going to be coming through. And this is beating the odds. And so the energy of the Capricorn is in some way beating the odds, beating all odds. And like maybe you get a check in the mail, or maybe something comes through that you have wanted, but what is yours is going to come to you. And it's a very powerful message at this time. The Towers come out twice. The Death Star did come out with my Marseille deck, which to me in my Marseille deck is worries about money, poverty consciousness, and working too much, working to the bone, not really having the support that you need. You know, and it's so funny. I was like, okay, so what's gonna happen here? We have the cha-ching card, the money card. So I feel like there's gonna be a turnaround there. The cha-ching card is making money hand over fist. It is going from rags to riches overnight. It is having maybe, you know, picking up a second job or having 2 jobs. So like, let's just say you're not working very much right now. You may end up having, like, getting a full-time job and picking up extra work, or having multiple jobs. You may get a call back on something that you've been waiting for. So I don't feel like that energy is going to last. I also don't feel like the energy of the Tower is going to last. Anything that comes through that's like Tower related, like unexpected, like it's going to, like, you're going to feel, I feel like you need to keep moving forward in your life, and I feel like that will dissipate. The energy, I'm just going to say this, even though I went back, I'm going to go back for a second to that argument that I heard in my head, or that I saw my guide was showing me about how we don't, you know, the argument over not having sex anymore with a partner or something like that. The energy of sex is very strong here. So there's a lot of passion, a lot of sex to be had here in this reading in July and August. We have both the sex and passion card. We have the Ace of Wands, and we had the Ace of Wands come out twice. So some of you, like it's like, to me, it's not the answer, but in some way it is. And I don't know why. Like, my guides are showing that, like, sex does open up your energy. So if you've been super, like, closed, off, or maybe isolated, it's important to kind of get back on the horse and have sex again, and, you know, focus on relationships as well. But to me, there's a lot of sex focus here. Those of you who are watching, it's come out. It's a very strong thing, and I did want to address it, but I kind of wanted to wait and see, like, how it was going to play out. It seems like, it's very funny. It seems like, you know, for those of you who are very money focused, I always talk about this. I'm like, well, you know, the last thing that I want when I'm, you know, struggling looking for a job is to go have sex. But it's important to do so anyways, to connect with people, to live your life to the fullest. But I hear you. I do hear you on that. I'm going to see if there's any last messages, and then I'm going to go. There's a lot of energy about space, retreating, and recharging. Holding the space for something that hasn't come to pass yet. There's the transformation card too coming up here, which is a very powerful card. There's the joy card for the summer. There are good things coming. You know, you got this summer card, the bee card. It's so funny. I really enjoy the bee energy. I think that it's an element of contrast. Like, maybe at this time, even though it may be hard to kind of balance out the need to recharge and the need to, like, be present in the world and show up and do all the things you want to do, I feel like it's important to remember to find that balance. So make sure you're checking in with yourself. Make sure you're getting your rest. Make sure you're retreating and you're meditating and you're doing your yoga and you're kind of, like, you know, taking a step back when you need to. You know, I want to say that as much as the energy of the summer is going to kind of light you up and kind of inspire you to do as much as you can, there's only so much you can do at this time without getting depleted. That's what I want to say. I have to leave off here. I have another thing that I have to do shortly here. So I wanted to come on and talk to you guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this reading. It definitely was amusing and interesting. And I'll be back again. I'm still on hiatus through August 19th with my readings, but I may open up for a day or two this weekend. So if anybody wants to try to get in for a reading this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, coming up, please send a payment through PayPal. I'm pretty much only accepting PayPal. If you had to send it through Venmo or Cash App, I would accept it, but PayPal is pretty much the way to go right now. For this weekend, specifically Saturday, Sunday, I will try to come back on and record some more, and get more on here. I know everybody misses my readings, so yeah, thank you guys so much for your love and support. Any donations are appreciated this time. Any amount, whether it's $10, $20. I think I'm short $400 for my tires, and yeah, anything would be really helpful right now. So thank you guys again so much. I send everyone big hugs, big kisses, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. All right, take care. All the best. Bye, guys.